Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be part 2 of exam stress. Now, a lot of you have got to really rethink what you're doing, like I said in the previous video. Now, you've got to keep your exams in perspective. Let me tell you what will happen if you don't get your exams. You will get a job. It might be an alright job, but you will get to a point in that job where you need to show other people what makes you different. What makes you the best at what you do. You're going to want to get promoted, you're going to want to move up, and even if you stay in the same place, it doesn't mean you're dumb, it just means you want to learn more. So why would you wait to do your exams 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years? No point, you've got to do it now. Now let me tell you something. From the age of 11 you went to secondary school and you were expected to learn different subjects. The reason why you were expected to learn these different subjects is because at 16 you got your exam. Guess what? Welcome to your exam. Now, this is H hour. This is when you've really got to pull your finger out. Now, let's keep it all in perspective. Lots of people will tell you that your exams aren't everything. They're not. Whatever happens in your exams, you can still be successful in life afterwards. You don't have to do as well as a lot of people hoped you do. But if you do want to do well, you better listen, because it's really important. Now, when you go for a job, employers don't just look at you and think he's got an A star in that, so he's going to do well. Well, you know that isn't true. Why isn't that true? Because he's going to look at your aptitude towards the work. He's going to look at your timekeeping. He's going to look at your appearance. Is even going to look at you personally. So, you know, if you've got a really good personality, sometimes you can swing it. Sometimes. But if you have got a good pass or grade, that's all that matters. You don't have to get an A star. It's a C some of you will get, and that'll be good enough. Now, exam success doesn't define you as a person. You know, because you've done well or you haven't done well in an exam doesn't make any difference. What does make the difference is you, the person. You're important. And, you know, some people have such good transferable skills in different types of things that they will do really well in any job. Now, think about how far you've come already. Remember, from 11 years old, you've been studying, you're now 16, and you're waiting to get into that exam. Now, that's gonna say a lot about you. What's happening between the time? It's a pretty big part of your life. You would have experienced different things. You would have done different things. You might even have picked up talents that you didn't have when you was 11. Now at 16 you have. You need to look at them. Now, once you've done your exam, try to forget about it. Because you know what, it's no use thinking, what if, there's nothing you can do about it. And guess what? Even if you sit down there, right, spitting your bullets out, worrying, it's not going to change the mark. It's done. You can do it again. You can do it another year if you really want to do that, and do it again and put you back into it. And for some people, that's the best way of doing it. Now, the way to look at exams, picture your exams in a time-bound project. All right. So we've got 11 weeks. 11 weeks. 5, 10, 11. Now, I'm looking at it as a challenge. We got a challenge. We've got to get that job done. Right, we've got 11 weeks. Let's start banging it out now. Now, the first thing you've got to do is work out the basics. What do I need? Once you've worked out the basics, you have to work out, what am I going to get high marks? What am I going to get low marks in? If it's science, what's the past paper? You know, because some of these questions will come up again and again and again. And you've got to be smart enough to say, that might come up. And you've got to study around that project. It's not mega important, but it is something that will help you. Now, don't expect to learn everything. But having things where you want it is important, because, for example, you know, when you're studying, there's a girl, I won't mention her name, but the way she does her exams is she puts it in a binder, and those binders have got different colours. And all she does is, like in science, she looks molecules, bang, she knows it's on the red. She'll open it, she'll read it, she'll get it. One of the best things you can do is in your bedroom, okay? I know a lot of you might not do this, but it's worthwhile. You can get the little sticky notes and just stick them up and down the wall so that you know when you're going in your bedroom, you see them. When you're going out your bedroom, you see them. When you come back home, you see them. Use it as a point, so it really, really helps you. Now, you need to take frequent breaks. It's not good to concentrate more than 45 minutes. It really isn't. There are lots of online services. Like the one that I like is Promodo. I'm not saying it right, but you can get in there and find it. It's like a timer, a little timer, and you put your time in, and you get on with your studying. As you're studying, you read all bits and pieces, and then it goes off after 45 minutes. You take a break. And it's important to do that because when you're on your own, you might not be doing the right thing. Now, when you're studying, study one subject, 1 day. One subject, 1 day. No more than that. One subject, 1 day. Because a lot of you are trying to do 6 subjects in 1 day. And I can actually see quite a few of you falling apart. It's not good to be like that. Just one subject a day is important. Now, what you've got to do as well is you've got to drink lots of water. And I mean lots of water. The brain functions on water. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this. They most probably haven't. But then again, you might be doing biology. So you know how important it is to drink. It's important to drink lots of water. And it basically hydrates the brain. It makes you think better. Also, the other thing is when you're studying for exams, is that you need to start looking at your sleep and your sleep patterns. You need to get sleep. You know, it's no good trying to bulldoze your way through it. It's not going to work. It's really important. You know, some of us aren't morning people, and some of you are. But guess what? You're doing your exams. You better start being a morning person. You better start getting up early, right, and going to bed early as well, because it's really important. You know, sometimes you need to do a little bit of exercise. You know, go out and play a bit of football. Go out and run. Do something to keep yourself physically going. Because as you're studying, you're not going to do that much physically. And to do things physically is really, really important. Now, sleep. Yeah, you know, you've got to get 8 hours sleep. You can't get any less. You must get 8 hours sleep. And again, when you go in, you look at the clock. You say, okay, I'll get hours sleep. If you're stressed, you're not going to be able to sleep. And that's not good. But there are lots of ways. If you start off early, remember you got 5, 10, 11 weeks. If you start off early, you can knock the nail on the head. Now, even if you don't feel like going to bed, right, you must go to bed. You must relax, okay? And after a little while, you'll begin to get into the habit of it. And you find when you come nearer to your exams, you're not going to stress. You're going to say, you know what, I've got my exams, let me do my exams. Now, there's other activities that, no boys, leave that alone. That activity you're not doing. Now, the other activities, there are such things, sometimes you can do a bit of COD, alright? Oh, sorry, COD, Call of Duty. You can go on the PlayStation, bang it out, be a champion on the PlayStation for 15, 20 minutes, alright? And then after you've done your 15, 20 minutes, you think, yep, that's great, I'll do that. You know what? Read a book. I was reading a book, I've got to tell you, it's called Don't Be Sad. Fantastic book. And as you know, I've said that I am going to read 100 books in a year because I don't read. I know I need to read, so I've put it in my agenda and I'm going to read it. But I'll let you know how I do in that book. Now, some of you set yourself goals. Ridiculous goals. Ridiculous. Why are you studying so much? Don't do it. Take your time. Use your noddle. Think about it. Think about how you're going to do it. Remember, this is the 5, 10, 11 week challenge. And we're going to lead up to the exams and we're going to do it in a different way. It's really important. Now, the other thing, don't cut out, you know, your little bike rides or your little bit of entertainment in your life. Don't cut that out. We all like that. Some of us like sleep. And sleep's not bad entertainment. You're knackered, Get yourself to bed. Get some Zeds. That's really, really important. The other thing, I've got to tell you about this. Some of you think you can drink certain drinks. Certain drinks that give you wings, you know. So you think, yeah, you know what? I'm going to tank up on this drink because it's got bags of caffeine in it. Incidentally, the drink I'm talking about, I'm not even going to mention the name because you would have sussed out what it is about that gives you wings, is banned in France. It's ridiculous. You put so much caffeine in your body, you're not going to be able to handle it now or when you take your exam. Stop. Avoid it. Don't take it, you know. The other thing is you can get some great support from your family, right? You know, don't be put off by some of people saying you're doing huge amounts of revision. As I've already mentioned, you need to do one topic a day, and that will get you there. You don't need to do anything else. It's important to forget about your exam results and remember that you're a small part of it, and you've got to try to push towards it. Now, talk to your parents about exams, you know. I mean, some of them will be really au fait of it, but talk to them. They understand what you need. They understand what you're going through in that period of time. It's the most important period in your life, your exams, right? You've got to do it. Do what you must do. Don't mess about. Get the exams done. And as I said to you, get up early. That's one of the tricks. Get up early, get some breakfast, do something different, like maybe run around the park, which I'm sure some of you better be careful because you don't want a heart attack coming on early. But, you know, go out and enjoy yourselves. You know, now if you're feeling worried or anxious, I'd say have a chat with a good friend. You know, if you've got an exam buddy, and you must have an exam buddy, just say to him, look, I'm feeling stressed out, I'm feeling like this. You know, some of you go to extremes, and I'll talk about that in another video, most probably not too far away from this one. Now, lastly, if you're feeling completely overwhelmed and finding it difficult to cope, you can get support. You really can. You know, take a look at different strategies you can take. Have a look in your school. There are going to be people that will help you. Some of them don't even bother because they're not bothered, but some of them do care. Some of them will go the extra mile. So look, you know, whatever you do, don't put everybody in the same category. We will help. We understand what it's like. We understand it's an important time in your life. Let's get the exams done. Remember, right, we're going to get it done. Remember, 5, 10, 11 weeks. The challenge. Let's get the challenge. Let's make this challenge real. Let's write it down. Let's get it on the back of the fridge. Let's get it on the back of the door. Let's get it in your book when you go to school. So as soon as you open the book, bang, it's on top of you. Start taking your lessons seriously. Now, for those of you who like to use tutor time as a bit of a time to have a bit of a relax, don't do it. You're there. Your tutor will help you. Have a look. Start studying. Start revising. You've got plenty of time. When you have your break time, take your break. Don't study. But it's important that when you do get a chance to study, you do have professionals beside you, that you ask them for the help of their assistance. They will take you a long way. Now, you know I keep going on and on, but I do it for a reason. You will pass. You will do well. So I'm going to leave it short now. Now, if you've got any problems, as I say, drop me an email and I'll reply back to you. But keep going. Remember, you only do your exams once. If you're lucky, you're going to have another 3 years, perhaps 4 in uni, to do your other set of exams. And the skills you use now are the skills you can use again. It's really important. Remember, life in itself is a big exam. And when you decide to take on life, you decide to take on a lot of things, right? People are depending on you, right? You've had 5 years, right? And if you've spent those 5 years just waffling or trying to be the big I am, guess what? You've been discovered. You need to sort it out now. Anyway, anything's leave on the back. And oh yeah, subscribe and you get my other videos, right? It's at the bottom. And if you've got any questions, just fly them out to me by email and we'll talk about it. Well, you better get studying. All right, have a good day. Bye.